Hello, bookers and bookettes. Welcome back to the channel, or in some cases, welcome to the channel. I am here with the final installment of Emily Krepp's book, Slowly We Die. Now, guys, you know this is the final book in the trilogy, and this is part 3 of 3. So let's go. Okay, so Henrik has done a cursory background check on Philip. After speaking with his father, he learned that Philip was an only child of a physician, Charles, and a school teacher mother named Rita. He himself, meaning Philip, had also trained as a surgeon but walked away from it all due to mental illness, according to his father. That's why his father felt like he walked away. All right, and in the meantime, remember when Mia and Henrik went to Philip's house to talk to him, but they ended up speaking with his wife, Lena. They saw a pair of shoes, tennis shoes, and they looked like they had some sort of spatter on them, so they retrieved the shoes. Now, Anna Lee has come and told them that his shoes were a match for the shoe imprints found in the flower bed. And then said that, well, Amelie said something I had never really given thought to before, but makes sense to me. She says, no one suspects those who come to help. In other words, if you call 911, you expect help to arrive, not harm. The police ended up questioning and taking Philip in without incident. Jana and Henrik grilled Philip hard. Henrik got Philip to admit to being a surgeon, and while Jana's main thing, she wanted Philip to explain just what happened to her mother. Now, remember, at the time her mother died, no one knew that that was Jana's mother. So, she just wanted him to talk and tell her exactly what went on. So, Philip admitted eventually that he did fall asleep while monitoring a patient, and when he woke up, the patient was deceased. But he said Sombra was in the ambulance with him, with him the entire time. She could have woke him up and didn't. So then Henrik wants Philip, he just felt like it was more to the story, so he pressured Philip, and Philip finally says, because they both really want to know also, why did you walk away from a promising career as a surgeon? Philip told them that the third victim, Johan Crane, remember, he recognized Philip as a former co-worker as he was dying. So Philip told them that Johan was a surgeon as well. Matter of fact, he was the lead surgeon. And Philip, although he was a surgeon, this particular time he was in there more or less as an observer of the surgery. He wasn't really supposed to help perform in the surgery. So he said that Johan was doing surgery on this young lady. He kept saying that the lady's name was Erica Silver, Well, Johann, right there, he did some part of the surgery, and then without warning or reason, he told Philip that he needed him to step in and wrap the surgery up. Philip didn't want to, but Johann was his superior, so he felt he had to. Well, when Erica woke up from the surgery, she was in immense pain. Philip went in there and found out that Johann had tightened the sutures up so tight on this lady that there was nothing Philip really could do but amputate her legs, which is what he did. So, yes, I'm pretty sure Erica was very upset when she lost her legs. But as Philip was leaving out of her room one day, he heard her say to him, "I will make you pay." And that he did. So then, Olaf could not find any records anywhere ever of a lady named Erica Silver having some sort of weight loss surgery. But Philip kept insisting that's who it was. That was her name. Henrik grilled Philip regarding what he knew about the last 3 victims. He, meaning Philip, insisted he knew very little about them. Basically, he had only met the girl's mother once before she ended up no longer being with us. Now, he had met Katerina a handful of times, but she still ended up gone. And then he had not seen Johann from the day of the botched surgery to the day he died. And it didn't really say how many years had passed from then to now. So Henrik and Jana really had no other choice but to finally accept what Philip said. Now, before all of this happened, Philip and Lena had been talking on the phone, and at this point, Lena doesn't know what to think or suspect about Philip. She just knows that he's, kind of being reluctant to talk to her. But at some point during one of those conversations, he told her to call Sandra to come over just in case he didn't make it home that night. But he still didn't say. He did eventually telling them that he had been accused of causing people no longer to be with us. So, a little bit later on, Olaf ran in and told Mia, Jana, and Henrik that he had finally located the lady, but her name was not Erica Silver. It's Erica Sandell, which validated Philip to some degree. She had been telling him all along. Now, Sandra told Lena that Philip was addicted to some kind of pills that were supposed to help him function through the day and sleep at night. Well, that sent Lena in a tailspin because she saw no real issues or concern about how Philip was responding and behaving at home, and to her, he slept peacefully at night. So she couldn't understand why Sandra would be saying something like that. Now, Jana is in court, but afterwards, she hurried home and picked up. Well, no, wait a minute, I got ahead of myself. Yana is in court, and in the meanwhile, Mia and Henrik, they went to Sombra's childhood home unbeknownst to them, where they found Erica in the basement, deceased. Now, I don't know if Sombra did away with her or because she was in a wheelchair, because she no longer could walk or whatever. Now, leaving court, Yana hurried home to pick Danilo up. Henrik questioned Erica's neighbor and learned that she had an adult daughter living with her. Lena confided in Sombra that Philip had been accused of the last 3 deaths, although she didn't think he had done it, but he was acting strange. Good, Sombra said, and just went on in another room. Carl called Yana, telling her that the DNA found underneath Margreta's fingernails belonged to Sombra. Sombra, I guess, I don't know, it didn't say in the book, but I'm guessing that, when Philip went to sleep in the ambulance, Sombra was working with Margreta, and she was the one that we now know that had smothered Margreta. But I'm trying to understand, how did she know that Margreta was tied to Philip? In what way? That's just now dawning on me. She had used whatever the medicine is they use or carry in their paramedic bags and stuff. Mia, Henrik, and Yana frantically searched to find Sombra before someone else ends up no longer being with us. Olaf called Henrik with what he found out about Sombra. Her biological mother passed away when she was only 2, and her biological father was an alcoholic. Now, at some point, Sombra and her father moved in with Erica, although there is no record of her father and Erica ever marrying. Now, she took it upon herself to call Erica mother, although she was never adopted, formally or informally, by Erica. Her father passed away when she was still a child, but she was a teenager when Erica had the surgery. Yana and Danilo arrived at Sombra's childhood home. Well, Danilo stayed inside the car. They got there Yana got in there just as Sombra injected Lena in her stomach with whatever that medicine is. And so the 2 ladies ended up getting into a fight. Yana reached for her knife that she always kept in the small of her back, but somehow uh, the knife ended up, she couldn't get the knife ended up on the floor, and it looked like Sombra had finally gotten the better of Yana. When she saw the knife, Sombra kicked it out of Yana's reach. Well, at some point, she was able to get up on her feet, Yana was, and she ended up getting that knife, Sombra had a gun, and Yana ended up using the gun against Sombra, and so she was no longer with us. Danilo, it took Yana too long to come out because she would not tell him exactly what was going on. He was just upset, scared that he wasn't going to be able to get where he needed to be by a certain time. So when they pulled up to Sombra's home, it took her so long to get out. So I guess after a while, he heard all of the commotion from within. So he burst through the door and gathered Yana up and took her back on out to the car. Mia and Henrik got to the house shortly after Yana and Danilo left. She dropped him off, and then she went on home. She got ready to go to her mother's funeral. Now, I don't know if, please tell me that was not the same day. But whatever it was, she went to her mother's funeral, wounded thigh and all. Because remember, Danilo had stabbed her in her thigh because she wouldn't tell him something he was wanting to know. All right, now, Mia helped Henrik and his wife move into their new home. Danilo was spotted lying in the back of on the back seat. Let's start this over. Danilo was spotted lying in the back seat of a Mercedes. Yana returned home after her mother's funeral, and she wasn't there long before 7 large boxes arrived at her front door. Well, you know, Danilo had kept his word. You know, he told her if she did this, you know, hide him out and do this, that, and the other, he would return her journals and everything else of hers that he had. And so that's what was in those 7 boxes. He had also scribbled a note and placed in one of those boxes. The note only had 4 words: "I'll be in touch." Per came to her house to offer his condolences with regard to Margretta's passing. And they talked for a few minutes, and then he turned to leave. She let him put his hand on her cheek. And then, so they just kind of stood there for an awkward moment. And then he turned to leave. But when he was getting ready to walk down the steps, she said, "Wait a minute," and she invited him in to stay. This, Bookers and Bookettes, is how this book ended. And as much as I enjoy reading this trilogy, I have never been so glad to finally get through with the book. And I think I am not happy or satisfied with the way it ended. I feel like the characters could have been wrapped up a little better than they were. And the fact that Danilo has been spotted tells me that this is going to become a serial. But you know, in real life, I don't care how bad a person is, at some point, they have to be stopped. If he didn't get killed in this book, I knew this was going to happen. And true enough, he's been spotted already. Now, I would like to know a little bit more about how things were with Carl after Margareta died. Did his relationship with Yana ever improve? I hope that Yana and Per go on and become a couple, and hopefully nothing as dark and whatever else dark and demonic has happened between them as a couple. Now I pretty much felt like Lordy, let's not forget old crazy Mia. Wonder whatever happened with her, because we knew that the worst that Henrik and his wife went through, it had all happened in the first book, which, you know, they had relationship struggles. They didn't have anything about life or death or anything like that. They just had marital issues, but they stayed there. We do know that Gunnar had gone on and developed a relationship with another person that he and Annalie worked with. Annalie wasn't seeing anybody else. And I think that's about it. Olaf was already married. And I guess that was it. I was just a little bit, like I said, disappointed in that they didn't necessarily give us any definite wrap-ups with regard to Danilo and Yana. And I know she hopes he's not keeping in touch with her. That's one person she'll probably never want to see again and will be okay with it. Okay, like I said, this concludes this trilogy, which has no base title, but it's by Emily Krepp. This book in particular was Slowly We Die. So, go down in the comments, bookers and bookettes, and tell me what you think about. Do you agree with anything that I said in here? Oh, yeah. I wonder if Philip and Lena, if they got back together, because Lena and the baby, they were rescued in just enough time. She was pregnant, so they were rescued. I do wonder if Philip and Lena stayed together. But yeah, just go in the comments and tell me overall. I am so glad. Normally speaking, reading books of this subject matter would never cross my mind to read. And I don't know that I ever will read another one. But, and I'm glad I'm through with this one. It's just a little too dark for too long for me. But anyway, I guess I'm tired of talking now. So, subscribers, thank you for being subscribers. And don't forget to like and share this video. Visitors, if you have happened upon my channel, please feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you over here with us. And if anyone comment, please do so respectfully. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a video. And remember this, bookers and bookettes. As long as there are books around, there is always something to read. bookers, bookettes, and book lovers alike. Stay safe. Thanks for watching and or listening. And God bless.